What's up, you filthy animals? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. And if you want to see the end of that one, here comes the link. There's the link in the chat. You can check that edit out, which is called Christmas in Atlanta, Drone Stuck in a Tree. Here on my channel with the proper music. That's just some copyright-free music that I use on these live streams so that I don't go to federal prison. In the chat, Chomper was first, Alexander is here, Athix, Matthew Vega, Tiago Ramos, Slappy1, Rotten Tomato, Private Island, EBR, Frank Nicholas, Christian Vloet, EBR, RC Ritter, Rotten Tomato again, Experimental RC, Proton to Go, Toxic FPV, Chomper again, EBR, Toxic, Rotten, Athix, Toxic, Proton to Go, Greg Womack, Coreyman 0, Private Island FPV. I think that pretty much gets everybody. Tiago Ramos! He's here. He says Home Alone. If you'd like to talk to me directly in the chat, it's very simple. All you've got to do is type my name. You don't have to type the @ in front of it, but you can. It'll automatically fill if you do that. The important thing is that you, spell it right. CiottiFPV. If you need a reminder, it's right down there. If you type that in the chat, it highlights orange. I know you're talking to me. Otherwise, since the chat goes with these live streams forever, I'll assume that you guys are just talking amongst yourselves. Feel free to spread the awesome information in the chat, because just because I've got the camera pointed at me doesn't mean shit. You guys can be just as helpful to the community and the world in general by saying good, accurate things in chat, as you do. Alexander says, don't have to spell when there is autofill. That is the magic of the @ symbol. So we're going to do some Q&A here today, and then we're just going to dive into Velocidrone and do some formation flying. So hit me with those questions. Make sure you tag me with the questions. And, yeah, we'll just dive on in. Let me... Look at this shirt. Look how satisfying this shirt is from Tiny Whoop. Come on. Can't tell me you don't need your own. If you do an order with Tiny Whoop to get your own one of these shirts, you should throw it in the notes. Yo, CiottiFPV made me buy this. You should make him an affiliate or sponsor him or do something. Coreyman says, or the @ symbol. Or wait, no, not hashtag symbol. Cool. I did not get a chance to fly the 2.5-inch rig. I actually completely forgot about it until about 2 minutes ago. So I'll have to fly that a little bit after this stream here. I mean, unless I go fly it right now. I could put like another edit on for you guys, and then I could go fly it and pull the DVR. You guys tell me. If you guys want, I can put a battery or two through it right now. I'll throw another edit up with some more copyright-free music, and then I'll record the DVR with the little immersion power play thing, and then I'll pull the memory card, and you guys can watch the DVR if you want. It's up to you. Tiago says, are you using the notebook? I haven't in a while. I was doing really good with journaling a little bit last month, but I have not used it in a while. It's hard, man. It's hard to force myself to journal. It's totally outside of like the norm for me, and yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to do it more though. It was good when I was doing it, but then I stopped. I've just had a lot going on. I've had a lot of other things going on, and I'm trying to. In January I tried a million different things, and there's just not enough time in the day for a million different things. So like one by one, the things that haven't been working or that I don't like to do have kind of fallen off. But I've continued to do some really, really valuable stuff. The yoga, the meditation, the ego work. Yeah, some really good stuff. So it's been interesting. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I just don't want to I don't want to sleep on it. I just want to like kind of keep on top of it and keep pushing myself to be a better human being, man. So all right, good deal. And let me just move a window over here. Let me see how I was helping out. I was helping somebody out over, and you know what? I'm gonna check it after the stream. I'm not gonna dive into that during the stream because we want to get into Velocidrone, and I know that you guys want to get some flying in, and I do too. I've been having a blast doing the lead follow stuff with you guys. Been super cool. What's up, Expander? Okay. So, what is this? Why is there a Predator box sitting here? I also need to I need to get that 5-inch rig put back together. Oh, this is the Predator that I put in the rig over there. I might actually end up taking this out. Nah, you know what? We'll throw that back together and I'll give it a little bit of a smash. Let me... So we're gonna dive in. I think on Tuesday we're gonna spend some time here moving this CB3 squid over into a Ripsqueak Micro. So I think that's gonna wait until Tuesday. So let me clear the workbench of that stuff real quick here. Man, this light's not even on. Let me just get this stuff kind of out of the way a little bit. If nothing else, then to prevent me from losing anything, because the workbench is a bit of a mess right now. So let me just do this super quick, like, and that goes there. Okay, cool. So we're safe here. Let's get that, what's up, Metal? How are you, man? Have you tried the Predator camera? Not yet, Tiago. It's soon. All we gotta do is smack a antenna on this, and we'll be good to go. And then I can try the, Predator camera. So let's knock that out while you guys are asking questions, and then we'll dive into Velocidrone. Because a lot of the mess that's on the desk right now is because this rig is half put together, and there's really not much that needs to get done here to get this thing all the way back together. So I'm going to put this True RC Singularity. This is my favorite antenna. I like to prep this. So True RC has begun putting shrink wrap here, which is amazing. I used to do that. And shrink wrap here as well, which again is fantastic. But they're not putting shrink wrap up here quite yet. So I'm going to do that really quick, just to keep the... if you smash this thing hard enough, the top cap will pop off, and that's not a good thing. So let me just rifle through my little thing of waste shrink wrap, excuse me. Almost vomited there. And, oh, looks like I already have one. Looks like I have one that either fell off or I'd already made. So I can just kind of use that and reheat it and re-shrink it down. Let's see how that goes. That's funny. I didn't even realize I had that in there. That's, as long as it shrinks again, which it should, we'll be good to go. And yeah, there it goes. Well, that was way easier than it probably should have been, but I'm not going to complain. Once it like shrinks down, you can kind of see it, like it stops being, like it kind of disappears because it pulls so hard against the plastic. it stops being like milky. Does that make sense? Rob Oxison says, what are we fixing? This is just the, this is sort of like the OG glide that's still on the F40 Pro 2s. This is always the first one that I put up in the air. I still have 4, now 5 good F40 Pro 2s. Yeah, so this rig goes up first, and then when it blows up, I start flying the other rigs on the Pro 4s, and slowly but surely, I kill the F40 Pro 2s on this rig. Eventually, I will run out of these Pro 2s. I will frown because I love them very much, and I will convert this rig over to Pro 4s as well. But, you know, until that happens, I'm just going to keep flying them. So, Singularity antenna is going to go on to the Tramp HV, but first I want to put 2 pieces of shrink wrap on this guy so that this antenna will get pulled nice and hard against the UFL to make sure that it doesn't unplug. So this is a little bit of a longer antenna, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll plug the antenna in like that and then just put the shrink wrap over it. The problem with that is it can kind of like pull upwards, and it can even yank the UFL out of the little connector piece. So the safer way, the singularities are nice and long, so what you can do is plug it in this direction, which saves you from having to put the shrink wrap on ahead of time, which is kind of nice. So you plug it in this direction, and then you shrink wrap it down so that if the antenna pulls, it just makes a little kink in the wire, which is fine. It pulls against the shrink wrap, which is totally cool. That's much better than it pulling against the little connector. So yeah, you're going to plug it in facing that way, and then I'll bet you I have some shrink wrap in here that'll fit. This ain't the one. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me cut 2 little strips of this. Doesn't need to be super long, although I'm just going to cut this right in half, I think. And yeah, it'll make more sense in a second. Prepping your antennas, prepping your antenna setup, just in general, thinking about and like developing your little antenna setup on your rigs is way, way, way more important than you could possibly imagine if you want something that has good analog signal but is also durable. Antennas are expensive, man. Good antennas are $20 per, and they get the living hell beaten out of them. And yeah, you can end up spending a lot of money on antennas if you're not careful. So take the time to get your little antenna set up as good as possible, because it really does make a difference. I am like hundreds and hundreds of dollars into blown up antennas in order to figure out this method of securing them and making them a little bit more durable. And what's cool is not only does it save you that money in the future, but it, like, when you lose an antenna and your rig is far away, it ain't good, right? Like, having a functioning, durable antenna can very easily be the difference between getting your rig back and losing $600, $700, $800, $900 worth of quad when the video potentially goes out. And I double bag it here just to give a little bit extra security. You know what I'm saying? I don't recommend that you double bag it in the other ways, because you know, doctors say that it actually makes the situation worse. But in this case, I can recommend double bagging. Only use it as a joke in other ways in your life. Just touching the shrink wrap to make sure it got hot enough. It didn't get quite hot enough. I want to really make sure that it shrinks down and pulls on that UFL to really just pull that UFL into the little UFL port. That makes a big difference. All right, so let's give that, now it is definitely hot. Let's give that a second to chill out. Protnigo says, what is your D-shot idle value? Thoughts on low/high values? I'm a fan of 5%. It's a little bit lower than stock. I really like it lower than that, but you sacrifice zero throttle performance. So 5% is a good mix of, like, it doesn't spin the props up hard when you're zero throttle, but it spins them up enough to give it a little quicker response time if there's some PID loop activity at zero throttle. So yeah, it's a pretty personal kind of thing though, and it's pretty easy to feel the difference. So my main recommendation is, like, try it out, try different values, and see which one works for you best. Works best for you. You can really notice it when you're inverted. Just change it and then flip inverted. You can really hear it. Do like a throttle blast and then flip inverted and just kind of like listen, and you'll be able to hear the difference. I'm going to add a little bit of TPU to the front of this thing, of this GoPro mount. It looks like I've hit it enough times that I've hit and melted it enough times where it's not giving me quite the amount of protection that I want. So I'm just going to put this little piece of purple. This is purple TPU, not violet. The violet is a little bit darker in color. The purple is sort of more pink. The violet is more a more blue purple. The purple is a more pink. Is a way of explaining that. I don't know if it's a good way of explaining it, but it's a way. Ah! Come on. This is going to be a tough little TPU repair here. Alright, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay. So now I'm going to focus the heat on just the purple. Get it to start flowing and flaming. All right, and then let's get the other side here. All right, and when you're doing this, just keep an eye on, like you got to use gravity to move this shit around. So just keep kind of moving it around and just understanding that it's going to flow with gravity. Can't really touch this TPU with anything. You got to just let gravity be what lets it sort of flow around. So you got to just kind of get it hot and then just be patient, making absolutely sure that it doesn't drip on you, because it's pretty nasty. And just keep moving it around. It's going to turn black, but that's okay. I mean, who really cares, right? By this point, it looks like hell anyway. And just kind of keep, keep moving it around. Use the heat to turn it liquid, and then use gravity to sort of move that liquid around. There we go. So I pulled it towards the middle there, so that it would kind of meet up, and now I'm using gravity to pull it back down towards the outside here. And now I want to kind of flatten it out a little bit, so it's not protruding quite so much. You can kind of let it catch on fire a little bit there, to just kind of like keep the heat in it. But I usually don't. I don't try to let it burn. I try to put the little fire out as quick as I can and just use the torch to give the heat. And there we go. So now we've got much more material on that side. That side had kind of like worn away, but now this side is even thicker than the right side. And there you go. Right? TPU is forever. They're going to rip here. They're going to rip down here. Just melt them back together. If you go print a new one, what are you really doing when you print the new one? You're melting a bunch of fresh TPU back together. You've already got TPU. Melt it back together. Save the whales, yo. So we've got our antenna. We've got our shrink wrap. Now that the shrink wrap is cooled, you can really see that if this pulls, see how it's pulling on the shrink wrap? It's not really pulling on the UFL. That's what you want. And then you're going to double it up by securing it here as well, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But we need to get some VHB on the bottom of this guy to get it stuck down here, and then we also need to do a little bit of retention here as well. Alexander says, do you have a shrink wrap you prefer? I know some have adhesive built in while others don't, and some even are marine grade. Thoughts? I only really have... No, that's not true. I have 3 different types of shrink wrap. This stuff... So there's 2 main kinds. There's like plastic-based and there's rubber-based. The rubber-based, there's 2-to-1 shrink ratio and there's 3-to-1 shrink ratio. So this is rubber with the adhesive in it with a 3-to-1 shrink ratio, which I use when I really need, when there's something this size that I really need to shrink up hard on it. This is the more plasticky stuff, which I don't really use this much anymore. I used to use this in this case because when it dries it's really hard, or when it cools down it's really hard. But I don't know. I might go back to using this in this situation because the fact that it's hard is good to keep the UFL sort of down. This stretchy stuff that I just used here, it's not going to be as good at preventing this from being pulled, but I think it's going to be good enough. I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out. And then this is the thinner stuff. This is the thinner rubber stuff. It's not always in red, but I just happen to have a piece of red. The thinner rubbery stuff here is only 2-to-1 shrink ratio. So it's good sort of like all-purpose, I guess, shrink wrap. Yeah, I mean, shrink wrap is cheap and kind of no reason not to get a bunch of it. And just start using it and you'll find certain situations where you like one versus the other. I don't really have the end-all be-all answer yet because I sort of just recently got the 3-to-1 shrink ratio stuff, and so I've been kind of playing around with that. But yeah, it's just kind of like one of those things, like just try to sort of be mindful and just think about it a little bit, like give it some thought, you know, as you're building more and more, and you'll find situations where where one of them is better. And also, like, every time you crash and shit breaks, just like look at the stuff that breaks and just like do a little bit of like sort of post-mortem after crashes, and the more you do that, the more you'll sort of figure out how to build it better, basically, how to build it more durable, how to build it. And it's a million little tiny things like it, and this is the main reason why I sent the glide to Joshua, because it looked like he was going to start building glides, and I thought, well, I've done a ton of post-mortems on this to figure out all these silly little ways to mount the antenna and run the battery lead and all these silly little things. And I thought, let me send this to Joshua so that he can see all of these little things and yeah, hopefully cut down on the development cycle time that he would be spending with with his glide builds. Because it's frustrating, man. Like, you get a new frame and you build it, and then you rip the antenna off, and you're like, oh, what the hell? Well, there's 20 bucks gone, and then you get a replacement antenna and you put it on and it rips off again, and you're like, well, what the hell? And then maybe you figure it out, and then you put it up in the air again, and it shreds the battery lead, and you lose like a $40 battery. And you're like, well, what's this shit? And then you figure out where to put your battery lead so it doesn't get chopped, and then your crossfire antenna gets ripped off or it goes up into the propellers, right? Like, there's all these little tiny things that that can be very, very frustrating, and they don't need to be. But the only way around them sometimes is sort of like brute force. But if there's somebody else doing that brute force approach, then yeah, use their mistakes as you know what I'm saying. What's going on with this? Okay, no, that's fine. That was weird. I gotta remember to tighten up that standoff. Okay, so I just doubled up a piece of VHB, and I'm just dropping it down here. And I'm going to change my mind on where I want it, and I'm going to put it farther back. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, just wanted to put it a little bit farther back there. Try not to touch the sticky surface of the VHB with my fingers, because it's gross. Ew! No, because the oil of your fingers makes it less sticky, and that's not what you want. You want more sticky, not less sticky. Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. I know I'm right. Okay, so now we've got it VHB down. We just need to give it some actual physical retention, which I'm going to use this 3D printed crap strap. You can search for this on Thingiverse if you'd like. It's really nice. And so I'm going to go down through there, and I'm going to make sure that it clears the wires for the LED on the bottom. Okay. And then we're just going to go through, and then we chomp, and then we pull. And that's it. Nice little bit of retention. You don't really need to like pull this tight or anything like that. You just want it on there, and kind of makes everybody happy. And now my magic little 45-degree angle TPU printed UFL. Oh, now is when I realized that I forgot to put a piece of shrink wrap on here for this guy, but that's okay. I will use little zip ties to hold the UFO antenna to this guy. Not the end of the world. Definitely annoying, because I really like to have a piece of shrink wrap on here, but I'm not pulling everything apart in order to just to get a little piece of shrink wrap on here. This happens to me more often than I'd like to admit. Okay. Get on there. There we go. Okay, so we've got this guy up as high as possible. There it is. And this UFL, you want to give it a little bit of slack here, but it just notches in to this little guy, and then we're going to use zip ties to close this guy over so that it grips onto the UFL. Because what happens is when you go crashing through trees and all the scraggle comes like this, the scraggle has a tendency to grab this antenna and pull really hard. So you want to have as many points of like pull resistance as possible. And I really like to do that with a piece of shrink wrap around this whole little setup here, but I forgot to do it. I forgot to put the shrink wrap on. Let me try something though. Let me try something. This is the 3-to-1 shrink ratio stuff. which is nowhere near big enough to go over the head of this antenna, but you can stretch shrink wrap a pretty good amount. So let's see if we can stretch this enough to get it over the head of this, and then we'll see if it'll shrink down there. Frank Nicholas says, what kind of strap did you call that? I'm looking on Thingiverse. It's called crap strap, C-R-A-P strap. It's a copy of this. This is called wrap strap, R-A-P strap. So yeah, the person on Thingiverse that made the 3D printed version called it crap strap, which is hysterical, but very difficult to find unless you know the name. So I'm stretching this out with my needle nose pliers here, and let's see if we can get it over the head. You got to do this quick. As soon as I let this go, it's going to start to shrink back up. So let's see if it's big enough. And it is not. It is not big enough to get over the head of the singularity. So let's try. So that's as wide as these needle nose will open. Let me just do it the other way too. I think I should be able to stretch this just enough to get it over there. And then what's cool is it shrinks all the way back up. So you don't like take away any of its shrinkability or whatever by doing this. I got to get another pair of pliers that are a little bit bigger, that open a little bit wider, because I run into this problem a good amount. Here's the other way to stretch it out. Just take 2 drivers, put it like that, and then smash your fingers all. This is how you usually rip it though, because there's no like, yeah. This is when it usually rips. Let's see. Almost. Go. Come on. Gotta be quick, or else it's gonna shrink wrap on the head. Hey, look at that. Wow, okay. So now look how big that is, right? Look how big that is on that little tiny shafty bit there that I'm putting on. But watch this. Since it's 3-to-1, and since we've like pre-stretched it, it's gonna shrink up like absolute crazy. I don't know if it's gonna get tight enough, but we'll see. Look at that. Look at it already. I think we're gonna be okay. Isn't that crazy how much that shrunk up? And now the name of the game is not getting it too hot. Getting it hot, but not too hot. And there we go. Can you believe it shrunk that much, guys? Isn't that crazy? I don't want to just stop there, though. I'm also going to do a little zip tie. Just because I don't totally trust it. But yeah, man, shrink your, or stretch your shrink wrap. It works shockingly well. So now we got that. I'm going to give that a second to cool down. And I'm going to just throw the top plate on. I believe we've got everything else done here, right? Got these wires that I went wire to wire with, which is kind of shitty, but whatever, it's going to be totally fine. See if I can get these tucked away a little bit just so that they don't come flying out in the breeze. And I'll do the same with the camera connector here. I like to just sort of tuck these things in a little bit just so that it's a little neater. Okay. These guys are here. Just put a little crease in the wires. You don't need to go crazy doing this, but just doing something here is better than doing nothing and just crossing your fingers that the wires won't come shooting out the side if you've got a little bit of extra wire length. Usually what I like to do is just cut the wires so that they're too short for them to get pulled out and into the propellers. But in this case. All right, so I'm definitely gonna give this some time to chill out, because when you put heat onto the TPU like that, the TPU is very like malleable. So I gotta give this some time to cool down before I go cranking a zip tie on there, or else the zip tie is gonna like smush the TPU out. You know what I mean? And we don't want that. We don't like smushy TPU. So let's get this top plate on. Actually, some of these were not cranked down at all. So let me just throw a wrench and a driver on a couple of these guys to make sure that they are tight. Like little miniature tigers. And this is the one that I know for a fact was not even remotely tight, so let's check his little next door neighbor here. I think all I did on this rig was pull the rear standoffs though, so we should be okay. I don't think I pulled any of the other standoffs now. See, and that one is cranked. So that's good. Just for the sake of checking. Oh yeah, these are fine. This one's a little loose, but should be okay. Might as well give it a little tighten here though. And let's check one of these arm bolts. Or arm screws rather. Oh wow, that needed a little bit of okay, so let me check all four. Yeah, okay. Glad I checked them. They just needed a little bit of loving here. Frank Nicholas says, not finding crap strap or wrap strap. Chat, anybody know where to... I mean, to be really honest, you can get the legit wrap strap here, which is much, much, much better from Newbie or from Impulse RC. So I actually recommend getting this stuff because, like I said, it is way, way, way better. But I know this has come up a bunch of times, so I know that there's a bunch of people in chat who've printed the crap strap already. So somebody in chat will know how to find it on Thingiverse. Sometimes I feel like I talk about the crap strap and the wrap strap too much, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Okay. Oh, look at that. Got a thumbstick in this top drawer. Okay, now I've got 3 in there. Is this cooled down? Oh yeah, this is nice and cooled down. And yeah, see, so now it's much more solid now that it's cooled down. Okay, so let's figure out what is rubbing. Okay, so I'm going to move this zip tie back a little bit to make space for the battery strap. There we go. 15mm standoffs are pretty low. That's kind of the point. But you really got to make sure that, like, the thickness of the battery strap can very easily become an issue. In this case, if you're using a 1000 UF capacitor with a zip tie on top of it. That combination of things becomes too much, so you got to just make sure that you push the zip tie back a little bit, or use something thinner than a zip tie. What's cool about the wrap strap is it's rubber, so it'll smush quite a bit. But I've already got the zip tie on here, and I'm a lazy man, so I'm just going to leave it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay, let's get these guys cranked down, and then we'll throw the session holder on, and my beater, not the budget, but the beater rig, will be back together, which is awesome. I love this rig. This rig is also my sort of control. This setup, well, I mean, basically just these motors. These motors all of the best flying I've ever done has been on these motors. So this rig is really important because as I change other things, I often find myself referring back to this rig to make sure that like I haven't gone off the reservation with like total thrust or anything else. So yeah, this is like my control rig to make sure that I'm not straying too far from what has really worked well for me in the past, and the rig that sort of just connects with my brain the best. And every time I fly this rig, it just feels right. So yeah. What's going on here? Get in there, you little jerk. Get in the hole, friend. There it goes. Is it? Yeah, it is. There it goes. Alright, cool. I'm not going to crank these all the way down yet. I want to make sure that everything is going to fit. I want to make sure that I don't... with the 15 mil standoffs, you just got to be careful. Like, just don't go cranking the screws down all at once. Like, tighten them up a good amount and then chill. Take a look around, make sure that you're not pinching anything, and then you can crank them down the rest of the way. Frank says, I purchased some of these, but can't recommend stand due to no response to support emails. Yeah, you're not the first person that said that, Frank. I don't know what the deal is there. I know that the guy is very busy, but I mean, you gotta reply to support emails. Like, I mean, you gotta eventually reply to support emails. You can't just ignore them forever. Like, that's not cool. So, strange, but yeah, I don't know. Not the first time I've heard it, unfortunately. Alright, so now they're kind of like a little bit snug. So, kind of taking a look at the camera. The main concern is that the camera gets a little bit too close. Let me do this. I'm going to take a little flathead and well, no, I'll take the chip lifter. And I just want to move the camera down a little bit. It looks like the top of the camera is hitting the top plate. So I'm just going to come in here and just force the little TPU standoff loop down a little bit, and that'll force the camera down. Chip lifter ain't working well for that. Let me just get a regular old flathead. Yeah, it's better. Okay, so we're just gonna push this down a little bit, and we seem a little light on questions. I'm assuming because there was no Joshua stream, but that's okay. We'll when we're done with this, we'll dive into Velocidrone and get some flying done, and that'll be fun. Okay, cool. So yeah, that came down a little bit. Now I just want to move the other side down a little bit as well. There we go. I think that's about perfect. So now let me crank these. Let me crank these down. And I guess you're not really cranking them down because you're screwing them into TPU, so you don't want to go super hard on them. But you do want to get them to the point where they squish the TPU a little bit. It's also why I typically run 2mm longer hardware than what comes with frames in the front, because you kind of can't pull everything down together really hard on the top plate because of the TPU. And that's fine. The strength, by running a little bit longer hardware, the strength comes from the hardware itself rather than the hardware pulling into the carbon fiber. Alright, so there we go with that. Just making one last little trip around here. Got a last little bit of tightening. And there we go. Let me check this camera one more time. And check the up tilt. Yeah, it looks like about 30 degrees. Right now it looks like it's a little bit more than 30. Hold that like that. No, it's a little bit less than 30. So let's just give it another little bit of upwards push. And that looks just about right. Awesome. So there we go. There's a Predator V4 in there. I can't wait to fly this because I used to really like the Predator cameras. Let's throw some... No, you know what? Let's spin this up, but let's see how these F40 Pro 2s are doing. Let's see how noisy and or quiet they are. Here is how you determine the health of your motors. You take your propellers and your prop nuts off. Let me actually make sure that all the screws are in the bottom of these damn things. Okay, good. You hook your rig up to Betaflight and you put power to the quad. All right. Then you fire up Betaflight and connect. Go to the motors tab, click this little button here, and you're gonna reach over with your free hand and you're gonna hold the quad. You're gonna hold it, you can either like float it up in the air or you can just put your hand on it so you can feel the vibrations, right? And you're also gonna listen and you're gonna move this up to around halfway. All of the vibrations are gonna happen. So this little scale here starts at 1,000 and the max is 2,000. But if you take this above 1,500, there's no point. All the vibrations happen between 1,300 and 1,500. So you just move each motor up and down and you just listen for the difference between them and you feel how much vibration is coming into the rig. And what you'll notice is, typically there'll be one or two motors that are quieter and smoother than the others. When you build a fresh rig, you want to make sure you do this because that's going to set your baseline of absolute perfect smoothness. And then as you crash a rig more and more, you're going to compare that sort of to your baseline. So you guys can probably hear the difference between these. Ready? I'm going to go through all four. Can you guys tell which ones are the smoothest? So motor number 4 is the smoothest. Motor number 3 is close behind. Motor number 2 is starting to get a little noisy. Motor 1 is a hot mess. I can mainly feel it though. You can mainly feel it in your hand. What you're most concerned about is the vibrations. The noise that you're hearing is mainly telling you what your bearing health is like. But your hand and the vibrations, that's really what you're worried about. Vibrations are the enemy. And none of these are all that bad. The bearings are pretty shit in these, I must admit. But the bearings don't really cause issues that are that bad. So I'm actually going to leave it. Since it's the beater rig, the bearings are going to be wrecked. So it sort of is what it is. So yeah, that's how you check your motor health. The big thing you're looking for though is like if your rig starts acting up and you do that, a lot of times one motor will go bah! And your hand will fucking ah! And your face will ooh! And then you'll, as you buy another motor. J Drone's in the house. BH says, I bought Stan FPV motors the other day, 2604, and you mentioned desync. Seems like they are from Back EMF. Has anyone tried putting chokes on the motor wires? I've never heard of anybody doing that. I've also never heard of it being Back EMF. That sounds fancy. I'm not an electricity guy, so I will leave that up to the electrical engineers. J Drone says, I want to build my first 5-inch this year. Do you know if the glide frame is available in Europe? It is, J Drones. FPV Cycle will ship worldwide, I believe, but also he made it a point to get his frames over to TBS because TBS ships from wherever. So yeah, those are going to be your two sources. Or just message Bob and say, hey, I'm in Europe. Where's the best place to get the FPV Cycle Glide from? Ciotti sent me. If you decide to get the Glide directly from his website, you can go to CiottiFPV.com and I now have an affiliate link to FPV Cycle. Look at that. As well as Amazon and Get FPV and Oh My God's website and FPV Crate and Banggood and Camera Butter and AliExpress. There's a whole bunch of other ways that you can support me on here if you like this content. I am streaming every single day for my patrons at this point. So if you've got an extra $3 a month, which is 10 cents a day, you can get a live stream from me every single day of the week. And if a 2+ hour live stream is not worth 10 cents, I don't know what is. There's also an Etsy store with stickers and hardware. There's a Fiverr store where I can work with you on flight instruction, tuning, speccing out builds to make sure you buy all the right parts, as well as video editing. I've got t-shirts here at Teespring, which are really nice. And then here's all my stuff on FPV Exchange. If you want to see what I'm selling, you can just come on over to FPV Exchange, and all of the stuff that I currently have for sale is listed out right here. So yeah, do that, or else I'll stab you while you sleep. Brandon was flying bad bearings a few more flights before I swapped to the new ones. Battery lead came off the LiPo in flight, and I wrecked my wrecked motor, so old motors for the win. Gotta love when you wreck your wrecked motors rather than wrecking your fresh new motors. All right, cool. So we're good here. This rig is ready to go. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I just want to take a look at the filtering. I haven't had this rig in Betaflight in a while. I just want to take a really quick look at where I'm at with some things. Yaw low pass is on. Okay, I've got the dynamics a little bit more aggressive because it is the beater rig. I'm tempted to turn the gyro low pass filters back on, but apparently they really don't do much. So I will leave them off. There was no reason for me to save there. Coming to the PIDs, this is a 6S rig on 1600 kV motors, so it doesn't have a ton of power, which is why the PIDs are a little bit higher than what you normally see from me. Gain and advance are on 50, iTerm relax cutoff 10, anti-gravity 100% scale. Yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Nothing too exciting with this tune. Add a little bit more yaw just for fun. Just for funsies. It looks like I'm not... Oh, I am using the dynamic idle. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're good. Anything weird going... Oh, did I just not save that? Whatever. Anything weird going on in the config? 5.5 now. We're going to go down to 5 on this. Let me... What was that? That sounded fun. Let me go into BL Holly 32. I want to take a look at what... I want to take a look if I have this on 24 or 48. I don't remember. I've been moving everything to 24. Yeah, we're on 24. Okay. Wait, no, maybe not. Gotta connect to it and check just to be sure. Yeah, no, we're on 24. Okay, cool. Break on stop, PWM 24, beacon delay. Okay, cool. Oh, and you know the last thing I want to do is I want to see where I'm at with thrust linear. I'm trying to back. I really don't like thrust linear. I'm trying to. That was one of the things when I went to 24. It was so that I could run less or no thrust linear. Get thrust. Hey, I zeroed it out. Let me actually add a little bit of it back in here. Let's just add a little bit though. We're gonna go set thrust linear equals, let's just add 10. That's a nice low amount. Cool. That boosts the PID, the PID gains at 0 throttle, which in Betaflight 4.3 we're going to be able to back that down even more, which is going to be really nice. But for the time being, it's nice to have a little tiny bit. But that's pretty advanced tuning, unless you guys are really bothered by throttle chop bobbles. Yeah, you don't even need to use it at all. With 48, if you run your ESC at 48K, you really need thrust linear up at like 20 plus, like 20, 25, 30. But unfortunately, when it's that high, it really makes it really starts creating. It's like doing the opposite of lowering your throttle idle. So it starts to just. I just don't like it. When I'm at 0 throttle, I don't want that much PID activity, because it has this tendency to start to pull the rig towards the ground when you're inverted and stuff, and I just hate the way that looks and feels and flies. Where the hell is that bag of 5143s? There it is. Let's throw some propellers on here, and we will jump into Velocidrone. Frank Nicholas says milli ties go back to 2010. Date on this video. What is that, Frank? Protnigo says doesn't thrust linear help with prop wash at low throttle? It does, yeah, because it boosts the PIDs. But I don't get prop wash at low throttle. So I don't need it. Let's put some banged up propellers on here. We got a high right, we got another high right. Now I need 2 high lefts. There's one, there's another. Okay, and let's just use these beat-ass prop nuts. Because that's the deal with the beater rig, man. You put all the beat-up stuff on it, and then you just do all of your sickest flying with it. Okay. I should say you capture all of your sickest flying with it. Nah, that's not true. You do legitimately, with your most banged up rig, you care about it the least, so you tend to fly your best. Which is why it's important. There's mechanical sympathy is a good thing, until it's not. When you look at like professional race car drivers, the best ones are typically not their own mechanics, because when you are your own mechanic, you have more mechanical sympathy, because if you bang the car up or the quad up, you're the one that's got to fix it. So when you get into a situation where you might do some damage to it, you're gonna have in the back of your head, you're gonna have that thing that's like, oh, you just fix this, dude. Don't. It's not worth it. Don't do it. And then either you bail, or you do it anyway, but you do it at not 100% confidence. And that's not a good thing, because usually those situations are the ones where you need all the confidence. And yeah, yeah, when you don't have all the confidence, you end up smacking into the concrete 4 stories down out of a 20-story dive. And so yeah, it's a real catch-22. Know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna put a little zip tie on this guy and be done. I got a little pile of stuff over here. It's a pile. Okay, so let me use one of these little fellas here. And again, this is just to further crank down the TPU onto the antenna itself, so that when this inevitably gets pulled, when crashing through Scraggle, it's going to get pulled in that direction, right? We want it to rip the head off of this thing. The head on this thing is stronger than the UFL. So yeah, if your antennas, if the heads of your antennas are ripping off before it ruins the UFL, you're doing it right. That's what you want. And then you can focus on trying to keep the head of the antenna from ripping off by like shrink wrapping it here, by putting some glue in there, by possibly buying a different antenna that has a head that's glued on better. So yeah, you got to think of like each part of the little ecosystem, so to speak. And this zip tie you want to really crank on. It is totally okay if this zip tie breaks. The whole point is for it to be as tight as possible. And there we have it. Basher rig is back. And I can't wait to fly it because I've been flying the Pro 4s for a while. This rig's been down for a bit. This rig's been down since when Joshua was down here. And that was around Christmas time. So this will be good to get this back up in the air and remind myself the power curve that these F40 Pro 2s have, because they are my happy place. Let's clean the grip a little bit. If you don't know, when your grip gets a little dirty, just spit on your finger and you can rub the majority of the dirt and disgustingness off of it. And then let it dry. And your grip will be very sticky again. Your mileage may vary. But the more often you do this, the better. I try to do this like every 10, 20 batteries because the grip gets really dirty because it's nice and sticky. And there you go. On the wall, it shall... Hey, wow. Look at all these working quads. Just enough space. No, I don't. Put you over here. And put the moon goat over here. And yeah. There we go. The fleet is all back together. Look at that. So by the way, since I'm such a stand-up guy, right? I am. I work very hard to be as fair as possible. I have a note here on one of the million streams. I said that if we get to 200 patrons by the end of March, that the Moon Goat is going to be the giveaway quad. I've had a goal. I have 3 goals in Patreon. 100 subscribers, I give away a fully built rig, which we hit last year, midway through the year, and I gave away a CB3, very similar to the one that I was flying at Quad Camp Atlanta. Pro to go, I just use nails, just brad nails at a 45-degree angle, and then it hooks on the brad nails at a 45, and then it just hooks in the little motor hole in the thing. The second goal is 200. At 200 patrons, it's another fully built rig and the shirt off my back that I'm wearing when we hit 200. And then the third goal is 500. At 500, it's another fully built rig, and I will either fly to you or pay for you to fly to me, and we will fly all weekend and hang out and build and do whatever the hell you want. A couple weeks ago, somebody asked me about how Patreon was going, and I said it's going good. Next goal is 200, and I said I like just finished up the Moon Goat, and I was like, I'll make you guys a deal. And I 100% didn't think that this would ever happen. I said, if we get to 200 patrons by the end of March, the Moon Goat, the fresh, amazing Moon Goat, will be the giveaway, the quad that I give away. If we don't get it done by the end of March, it'll be the QAVS that I'm building from the FPV crate. It is now February 28th, and it's starting to actually look like I'm going to be giving the Moon Goat away, because we're at 170 patrons. It hasn't been quite one a day, and it needs to be one a day if we're going to get there, right? Because we're at the end of February, so we got 31 days in March. So yeah, if we average one new patron a day, the Moon Goat will be the giveaway. Fair warning though, it's not the Moon Goat as it sits right now. The motors are going to be coming, the F40 Pro 4s are coming off the Moon Goat, and they're going onto another rig. The Moon Goat is going to get the Newbie Drone Flow motors, because those motors are just a ridiculous value. And like, if I'm gonna give away a rig or sell a rig or whatever, it's gonna be on those motors, because I feel like I'm doing you guys a favor by doing that, because it's an $11 motor with a titanium motor shaft, and that is crazy. Like, it's just crazy. And like with any rig that I sell or give away, like, I want you guys to bash the shit out of it. And you're gonna bash the shit out of a rig that's on $11 motors way harder than a rig that's on $26 motors. So yeah. Freeloader says it will happen if it's meant to. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't, like, I don't know. Like, I try like once or twice per stream to pimp out CiottiFPV.com, but then I just kind of let it be. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen. I don't want to, I've always tried to like never overdo it. Oh, Frank says reusable plastic straps, like you're using. Love it. And then cable, there's a whole bunch of links here. Okay. Metal says, would it be cheating if I sign up with 2 emails at half my current Patreon amount? Not really. I mean, that I have actually like, so for example, right, like if you only have Tiny Whoops, but you wanted to support me for like $10 a month, that would make total sense to take 2 different emails, make 2 different Patreon accounts, and join the $5 tier twice. I don't think that's cheating. Like, nowhere on the Patreon does it say that you can only enter once. It just says $5 tiers for Tiny Whoop and Toothpick, $10 tiers for... So yeah, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. I won't even know about it. Like, I don't have any way of policing that, nor would I ever, like, realize it. Tiago says, fresh new Moon Goat coming out. Alright, I'm caught up on chat. Let me hit some of these links that that Frank is dropping here. There's one. Oh, for God's sakes. There's another. All right, well, that first link doesn't work. Cable organizer is another one here. Copy link address. Nice. That looks very similar to the wrap straps. Very cool. Looks a little bit thinner, maybe, but I like that it's black and not the stupid blue. I wonder if... Nah, that does look rubbery. Cool. I'm going to snag some of these. Bag of 10. Add to cart. And then here is the other link that Frank sent. Cool. Milli ties. Okay. So it looks like in America. So the wrap straps are only sold over in Australia. It looks like here in the US, we've decided to call them Milli ties. Different design. Definitely a different design, but maybe a better design. Very cool. Good find, Frank. Wait, let me do this. I think on my Thingiverse I have a... I think I have the thing saved. The crap strap saved. Let me see here. View, is it in my likes, I think? Yeah. Oh, nope, it's not in my likes. It's in collections, that's it, that's in things to make. Yes. It's in here somewhere. There it is. Oh, you gotta put a dash. Thingiverse needs to really work on their search, man. C-wrap strap. There's the link in the chat. It works really well. They're not nearly as good as the rubber ones, you know, go figure. But these work. These are totally acceptable. These totally work. Do I have anything else interesting in here? Look at that. Look how crazy that thing looks. Man, I've got some old stuff in here. Holy crap, I've got some old stuff in here. This is absolutely useless. This is the worst microframe I've ever flown. How do I get this out of here? How do I edit? Edit collection. Where did it go? There it is. How do I... There we go. Okay, good. I'm totally over the cutting propellers business. And... I'll leave the rest of this stuff in here. What the hell? Okay, done editing, and moving on. Athix says, I'll take $11 motors any day. I'm scared to fly my drib motors hard. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, 25 bucks per motor, I don't know, dude, that's a lot. Like, 25 bucks is a lot to just smash it into the concrete and just have it explode. $11 is less than half as much. Like, that's crazy. Oh my god, Frank just found heat shrink that'll shrink to 1/6 of its size. That's crazy. Alexander says, you need anything else for the frame drawing? Alexander, I think I owe you some feedback on Discord. I'll get there. It's been crazy busy lately. Sorry, brother. I appreciate your help very much. I've just got a lot going on. Daniel Hoffend didn't tag me, but I just happened to see his comment. He says, what's your favorite 3-inch or 4-inch sub 250 rig / frame? Ripsqueak Micro by BQE there's going to be a build coming up. I've already got one build from 3-ish weeks ago. Just go onto my channel, just go into like my uploads with all the videos, and there's a little search field. Search for Ripsqueak, RIPSQUEAK. It is really the best of the 3-inch frames that we have available to us at the moment. 4-inch is still brand new, and 4-inch doesn't really have a purpose. It's kind of why 4-inch has not been a thing. At this point in the hobby, we seem to be running out of new, hyped up, fancy, shiny things that these manufacturers can can flash in front of us to make us forget the fact that, you know, there are other things in life that we can spend our money on. And yeah, 4-inch is sort of like the flavor of the week right now. But what I think we all need to wrap our heads around is that there's just no point. 5-inch rigs are for carrying payloads, cameras, that are from like 80 to 120 grams. 3-inch rigs are for carrying payloads and cameras that are like 10 to 30 grams. Maybe that's an Insta360 Go. Maybe that's a RunCam hybrid on board. So the 4-inch rigs are really good for carrying cameras that are between like 40 and 70 grams, but there is no such thing. There are no cameras that are in that weight range, so 4-inch has no real purpose other than getting you to spend your money. Or long range. 4-inch does make sense for a long range rig carrying an Insta360 Go or a naked GoPro or something like that. Although, at that point, I think it would make more sense to go up to a 5-inch lightweight rig, right? Like the like Tommy's 250 that's coming. That seems like, Jesus. Yeah, we've got really low pitch 5-inch props. Why would we stop at 4-inch, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. 4-inch just, it doesn't have any more of a home now than it has for the last 5 years, and that's why nobody's been building it. But yeah, I mean, Cinewhoops are no longer the hot, like, super exciting hype train thing. I'd love to know how 4-inch became that. Right? Like, maybe because of the Explorer, maybe because Flywoo made the Explorer. And I can see it. I can see it for the long range stuff. It makes sense. The Flywoo Explorer makes a lot of sense, right? Like, putting if you're not in it for the cinematic footage, right? It makes absolutely no sense to send $1,000 rig 2 or 3 miles out. Like, just why? If you know, like, if you're just flying for the enjoyment of flying, that's kind of a dumb thing to do. Sending a $200 and something Flywoo Explorer 2 miles out is going to hurt a lot less when you inevitably ditch one and lose it, because that's a big part of long range, right? Like, you want to actually get good at long range, you've got to push yourself, you've got to push the limits, and with long range, when you push the limits, you lose a rig many miles away, and that shit's gone. Like, it's just gone. Don't even bother to look for it. I mean, of course you're going to look for it, but yeah, you lose a rig 2 miles out, just drive home and buy another one. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, just resist the hype train with 4-inch, because I have a feeling that 6 months from now nobody's going to be talking about or building 4-inch rigs anymore, because they're going to come to this realization that it just, or a really good 40 or 50 gram camera will come out, and 4-inch will become huge, and it'll become everything, and that would be great, because the 2004 motors, like, rip on 4-inch, and I've got a 4-inch drift edit called 4-inch motion that really shows how decent 4-inch flies. I could have done that exact same edit with a 3-inch rig, and it would have probably been a little bit better, if I'm honest, but I didn't, and which is fine. I mean, it's a good, interesting point of reference, I guess, but yeah. Alexander says, do you have any builds or setups on rotor builds? I have a whole bunch, Alexander. I am CiottiFPV over there. They're all pretty out of date, though. I have not updated any of my rotor build stuff in a long time. I would love to if I can find the time, but I've just got a million other things that are kind of eating up my time. And the good stuff is down below in the description. Every single video description of mine has the gear that I use and trust section. That is the most up-to-date list of the gear that I've pounded the living shit out of, and it has taken the abuse, and it's cheap, and it's easy to build with, and the pads are in the right spots and stuff like that. For me to try to maintain all these different builds that I have on rotor builds is just impossible, and it's just not a great use of my time, right? Because I'm sending you guys to somebody else's website where you're going to click somebody else's affiliate links. Now that FPV has to pay the bills and has to keep the roof up there, I have to centralize a lot of stuff and push you guys to CiottiFPV.com. At some point here, push you guys to FPVinstructor.com and the description field of these videos. Family Guyver says, I enjoy 7-inch for long range over 4-inch in my opinion. Is that, yeah, I mean, here's the other thing that you don't get from 4-inch, unfortunately, is the speed. I'm assuming that Family Guyver likes 7-inch long range, because it'll just cover a lot more ground. But unfortunately, in the process, it costs a lot more money. So, yeah, for you broke bastards like me, 4-inch long range, I guess. Although, believe it or not, a 7-inch long-range rig is probably not that much more expensive. It's probably only an extra $100, $150. No wrong answers. Daniel Hoffman says, thanks, the only. There it is. The only point is to get the max out of the sub 250 limit in Europe. Oh, very true. While at the same time stay below 19 meters a second regulations. Yeah, that's true. And that's probably where, although here's the thing, trying to get a 4-inch rig under 250 is damn near impossible. And like the amount of sacrifices that you have to make, I don't really agree with. I would rather do a really good 3-inch build where you're not making that many sacrifices than a 4-inch build where you're having to sacrifice some stuff. But we don't know. 4-inch is, again, still very, very early. It might be more realistic to get that below 250 as it just develops a little bit more. As we get some more frame options, the Impulse RC Mini Apex is a really interesting 4-inch frame option. Unfortunately, it's also a little bit too heavy for sub 250. So that's a strange choice for them, but hey, sometimes we don't get it on the first try. And yeah, they'll keep making frames. That's so true. I forget about the sub 250 thing because cheeseburgers. But the Sunday stream is more of the European stream, so good time to bring that up and make your boy remember. All right, so let's get into Velocidrone. What do you think? We fixed a 5-inch rig. I'm pretty much caught up on chat. Mark A says, are we taking bets on your computer working today with the sim? I mean, the audio will probably suck again, but I did restart it before the stream, so it should work. Maybe. Letterdirtskin says it was Dave C. who developed the 4-inch micro long range. I was following that project for 6 months before Flywoo came out with theirs. That's right. Good call, Metal. Good call. Mr. Huggy says, I was flying a 4-inch before the recent hype came out. So we have Mr. Huggy to thank, maybe. Daniel Hoffman says, I was just looking for a fun freestyle rig that I can put my spare Vista unit on and stay below 250. Thanks for your answer. Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be really difficult to do that with a 4-inch rig. Yeah, give it a little more time. I'm really excited for Tommy's 250 frame with the 4-inch arms. I think that this is going to be the one to get down below 250, but still have a good like freestyle-ish rig. So yeah, hold off on this one. I'm actually specifically waiting for the 4-inch arms to come, as well as his motors to get mine built. So yeah, there'll be some good content on this channel surrounding that soon enough. Firing up Velocidrone, let's lead and follow. Oh my god, we're an hour. What? How the hell has it been an hour and a half? What? That was just a quick little repair. What? What? How the hell? For real, how did that happen? Well, that would explain why I'm hungry. Alright. In Velocidrone, there's going to be a room called CiottiFPV, and that's going to be the room that you want to join for a little bit of lead follow. USB joystick, and let me put it onto the simulator model so that it doesn't run the antenna. And there we go. Transmitter all ready. So multiplayer and select quad. And the name of the room is CiottiFPV, which you can see up here. And I'm gonna host. Server America, and you don't want to have the absolute most recent version of Velocidrone. You want to be one version old because my computer is old, and the brand new version of Velocidrone will not run on my computer. They might not even have come out with the brand new update yet, so you should be good. So we're gonna go to empty scene day, and we're gonna see if the CiottiFPV specific map is in here, and it doesn't look like it is, unfortunately. Mark Kunoff has been working on a CiottiFPV map, and I guess it's only on his computer that it can be selected, and I think he said he couldn't be here until later in the day. So yeah, we're just gonna do city, which is what we've been doing, and we'll be good to go. Let me just trying different ones. Let's try this track name to see if it's any good. Let me get the chat pulled over onto the other screen so I can see it. And yeah, you guys can feel free to join. Frank says, you talk a lot? I do. It's my job. If I didn't talk a lot, I don't think you guys would hang out here. Mr. Huggy says, try the Polyworld Velocity map. Mel Dirksen says, did you go into the track editor? I did not. I don't even know how to do that. And then Tiago says, fund to buy Ciotti a working watch. Thank you, Tiago. Much appreciated. All right. And here we go. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Why did it... Okay. Good. Let's see if the audio is maybe not... Oh my god, the audio is working this time. There's not like a huge horrible delay in the audio. Man, that's really nice. Okay, so let me get... this is going to be the real test. A lot of times the audio goes to hell when I turn on Epidemic Sound. But I do want to have a little bit of background music. And it is fun for me to go into full... Oh, but you know what? You know what I can do? Hold on. I've been thinking about this. I have this folder here. I can just run... My god, it's been forever. I can just run iTunes. And I have a bunch of copyright-free stuff. And, oh, okay, Metal. How do you get there? How do you get to the track editor? I've never seen that before. Alright, iTunes, I need you to stop asking me for my fucking password. It's never worked before. It's a known issue. This is why I stopped using you. Alright, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to make a new playlist. And it's going to be called Copyright Free. And then it's going to just disappear. Oh, no, there it is. And then I'm going to take my selects folder. I'm going to drop it in there. I think it's even going to remove the duplicates, which is pretty awesome. Oh, wow, there's a good amount of copyright-free stuff in there. Very cool. Come on. Come on, iTunes, you can do it. You can't possibly be this awful. Oh, come on, man. Really? Alright, well, let's just, let's get rolling. Alright, so here's the deal. Everybody is going to be a different color. I am going to take care of that. And magenta is going to be me. And you never want to follow magenta. Magenta is going to be the cameraman. I'm going to be doing all kinds of wacky flying to try to capture your guys flying. So yeah, never follow magenta. What we're doing is we're going 40 miles an hour up and down this main drag, and then you do a big split S at the end, and then you come back the other way. If there's nobody ahead of you, you are the leader. Just go 40 miles an hour, as low to the ground as you can, as stable as you possibly can, because what's happening behind you is everybody's trying to get as close to you as possible. In order to do that, you got to use the smallest little thumb movements you possibly can, and that's very difficult. This is really good training, believe it or not. Your instinct is to start doing flips and flops and being all over the damn place, but that's not what this is about. iTunes has completely shit the bed now. It can't handle a folder of MP3s, and that's pretty shocking. Alright, so again, do not follow magenta. Magenta is the cameraman. It's going to be moving all over the damn place. It looks like we've got red, white, and blue hammering down Main Street here. Blue is in the lead. Yellow, you're going to turn around. Blue is in the lead, so white needs to get as close to him as possible. Here we go into our split S. Let's see who comes out in front. Blue is in front again. White is trying to get nice and close to him. Green, you're going to turn around. Here comes red. And now white is in the lead. Here comes It's Darts in the pink. And this is what we're doing. Just use as little motions as you possibly can. And I'm the cameraman. I gotta try to make you guys look good without going outside the map. So there we go. You guys can hammer. Hey, and iTunes just came back. So you guys get a little bit of practice running up and down. It does take a little bit of time to kind of get locked in. Just again, if there's nobody in front of you, just quiet your thumbs down as much as you can. Be super, super, super smooth, and just try to get your number in the top right corner to be 40 miles an hour. That's your goal. I'm going to go in here and select this playlist. Hit play. Look at that. Alright, so yeah, this is what I need to do in the future, is use iTunes. This is gonna work. Cool. Alright, good deal. So I'm gonna shuffle. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna manually balance the music with my voice here, and then every once in a while, I'm gonna give you guys full desktop music volume, and like kind of make a little bit of an edit once you guys are kind of locked in, flying close to each other, and once I'm kind of locked in with following you guys. So here come the lads. I can see them in the distance. I'm gonna pick them up as soon as they pass me in 3, 2, 1. Let's do some lead follow. White is in the lead. Let's catch him. Here we go. There goes its darts. And again, target speed is 40 miles an hour, nice and low, nice and smooth. Big old split S. Once we get a little bit more locked in on the split S's, what you want to try to do is give your throttle blip for the split S at that last crosswalk. If we all are flying nice and low and we wait, here comes the crosswalk, throttle blip, split S. That'll keep us from going outside the map, and that'll kind of group everybody together. Its darts is in the lead. He's way out in front. Try to slow down a little bit, darts. Everybody else's job is to catch up as I crash. Oh, this map has this weird thing on it. I don't even know where the main street is now. It's over here. Okay. Let me change the map because this is just going to be needlessly confusing. Wait, no. Unless we use the hold on. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Let me see. So the default start location now is here. I think last time what we were doing is kind of playing around with this a little bit. We tend to get now see, it doesn't work though, because then we go this way and like it's just kind of a mess, and there's kind of poles in the way. All right, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're getting the required practice. Let me change the scenery a little bit here. This shouldn't really affect you guys. I think you guys can just keep going. All right, let me see where the restart location is. Oh, it's on this rooftop? That's not what I want. Let's change it again. What about around the block? All right, let's see where the restart location is. Oh, yeah, I definitely don't want that. All right, yeah, I just got to go to the regular old pylons. That's okay. All right, so now we've got a good start, restart location. Let me just crash and get to the restart pylons. There we go. All right, cool. So yeah, now it's easier because you just, when you restart, you're already on the main street. Here are the lads. Look at that nice tight little stream of rigs wailing down Main Street here. So let me get kind of locked. Let me actually, I'm going to give you guys full music volume, and I'm going to spend a couple minutes just trying to focus on flying and getting dialed in. I'll be back. Here you go. Enjoy. Alright, I apparently have forgotten how to fly in the last 10 seconds. I did not smash into that bus bench, though. That was total nonsense. Here we go. Getting back into it. That was netcode 100%. There we are. Back into it. Whoa! Ooh! EBR FPV lean. Where are they at? There they are. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah, yellow comes ripping past. That was super cool. Arthur for all doing an awesome job staying nice and low. Let me see how close I can get to him. Oh, now he's in the lead. Magenta, white, and blue leading the... Oh no, there's some green action. All right. Oh, look at these four real close together. Very cool. That was sick. I've been trying to go down the sidewalk. I've been trying to pace everybody by going down the sidewalk, but it's really, really difficult. And it looks like I can only really do it on this one... I can't. There's not like one sidewalk that I can rip all the way down. I would have to go back and forth, which is kind of annoying. That was cool. Yellow and green. Doing a little bit of building dive action. All right, let's do the power loop shenanigans. Make a left up here, boys. Yeah, make a left. The big H building. Let's just let's do the synchronized power loops and Matty flip nonsense around around this thing. That's super fun to do. Oh no! Don't do it like that. Alright, we are at the H building, boys and girls. You will find it. Pick a direction. Whatever the direction more people are going, everybody go in that direction. Alright, screw it. Magenta will set the direction. I am setting the direction of the power loops. There we go. There we go. Woo, that was a close one. Oh, God! Cutting that a little too close. Let me give you guys stick cam, just in case you want to try to learn how to do wacky power loops and Matty flips. God damn it. Where's the H building? From the start point, it's right behind. It's behind and to the right. Which direction are we going? There we go. Dropping in. So I'm trying to box these, I really love to box power loops off. I find it super fun, so that's what I'm doing here. Ooh, God! Problem is up on top, it's a little difficult. Trying to skim the roof. Alright, here we go. Let's get into this shit backwards. It makes it a little bit easier for me to film everyone when I'm doing these as Matty flips. So if you also want to learn how to do Matty flips, now is a good time. Matty flips are all about just when you apply the throttle, and the easy way to learn it is just to pay attention to the sky and the horizon. There's a point, and that's sort of just how you time it, is by where the horizon is and where you pick up the throttle. Oopsie, I'm doing a terrible job of it right now. But I'll get it. It takes a second to really get into it. Following red. What's interesting is it's the exact same thing as a power loop. You're just looking in the opposite direction. I was wondering if I was going to clear the top of the roof there. That was a good jam. All right, here you guys go. I'll be back. don't know why I have this song down. I don't necessarily want this copyright-free song. Trying to mix in, instead of just doing power loops and Matty flips with you guys, I'm trying to mix in a little bit of cinematic juice to show you guys, because it's really cool looking. Although I think we're going in different directions now. Locking onto red and blue here. Oh, there goes red past. That's cool. Oh. That's sick. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I'm figuring out different ways to show these guys. Getting weird with it. It's cool to move back. The trails are really cool looking. Will I make it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We made it. That could have been cooler. There was a moment where there were like 4 people right on top of each other. That was really sick. Again, just ignore magenta, guys. I'm gonna be going the wrong direction and stuff to just try to show you guys. Oh, that's sick. Look at everybody getting close together. See if I can get them on the next run around. Oh, that's super cool. There they come. Interesting. It's such a different kind of. I'm so like. It's really cool to fly like that. For me to fly like this as like a camera person, but also kind of yeah. This is just such a different flying style. I'm still trying to like kind of wrap my head around how to best mix in like me showing the action, but also flying in a way that's interesting. So that, like, we're not just staring at these guys the whole time, like we're watching some, you know, wacky flips and rolls and shit. And some inverted stuff and some backward stuff. Like that, for example. Nobody was, I didn't have anybody in the frame, so I had to try to, like, fly in a way that was interesting to keep, you know, people from falling asleep. So, okay. Everybody that's been flying, rotate out, because I'm sure that we have some spectators that want to jump in. So everybody that has been flying, hop out. That'll let the spectators jump into flying. And yeah, we'll do it again. Let's go up and down Main Street to get all the new people's eyes in. And I will change the colors so that everybody is a different color. We've got 3 greens. Let's get a blue in here. Let's take one of the other greens and make it red. Red, orange, cyan. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flying. So we've actually got one more spot. If anybody hasn't been flying and wants to jump in, we've got 1 spot free, and then it's going to start making people spectators. Try to group yourselves up, everybody that's flying now, and it looks like we've got our 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, cool. So let me get this blue changed over to white. Again, remember, do not follow magenta. Group yourselves up. If you find yourself in the lead, resist the urge to do flips and rolls and shit. Just lead the way and just understand that that people are behind you trying to get really close to you. Yeah, and just keep flying in a straight line. Eventually someone will accidentally pass you, and then you can, yeah, you can have the fun, start playing the fun game of how close can I get. So let's just start ripping up and down Main Street. Oh, looks like we already got a little group. Yellow is in the lead. Your target speed is 40 miles an hour, which is in the top right corner. So if you find yourself in the lead, you've actually got a tough job, right? You got to not hit the ground. You got to try to go exactly 40 miles an hour, and you got to try to like not move the sticks around much. The more stable you are in the lead, the closer everybody else is going to get to you, and the better that's going to look. Speaking of, it looks like yellow is Mr. Mauer, so let's get grouped up, folks. Just try to slow your thumbs down. Try to move your fingers as little as possible. This is really, really, really good training. We don't practice not moving the sticks much, right? Like when we fly, we tend to just wail the sticks all over the place. This is your forced smooth stick practice, I guess. Alright, I'm going to start moving around so that I can crash. Okay. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? Where are the lads? Here they come. Do a little head on here. Let me make sure we have everybody. We've got gold, blue, green, white. Where's everybody else? Gold, blue, green, white. We should have more than that. We should have orange, blue. We should have yellow and cyan. There's green. There's yellow, cyan, blue, white. Okay, cool. Now we're good. I think we're all together now. Alright. I'm gonna put this song on. I'll be back. That was pretty sick. There were a couple really cool moments there. See how close I can get to Dan. Alright, here we go. Oh boy. It is so hard to fly close to people. My god. Alright, let me get a little more locked in on him this time. It's just hard not to pass people. It's really hard to fly close to them without passing them. It's so hard to fly sideways like that and not hit the telephone poles and stuff. And I'm also trying to not wobble back and forth across the street. Oh, there comes a teal out of nowhere. That was cool. The split S's look really slick. Try for the split S, guys. Try to wait until that last crosswalk to blip the throttle, and try to do a little bit smaller of a split S. And also try to do the same split S as other people. Like if we can get like all 6 of you guys doing like a close split S, that'll be crazy looking. So wait until that crosswalk, and then if you do your split S out to the point where you get the outside of map warning, you went a little bit too slow. So those are your boundaries for the split S. You want to try to blip the throttle at that last crosswalk, and you want to try to make sure that you don't travel so far that you get the out of map warning. It's going to take you like 5 or 10 tries to nail that down, but if we all nail that down, we'll have sort of constrained ourselves to the same split S area. So just change like how early you do your rollover, change how early you pick up the downward pitch, do whatever you got to do. Ooh, I'm on top of Dan. And yeah, we can all get a little bit closer to one another. It's cool to see you guys like tighten up, like it's just cool to see everybody get the practice of flying really close together. And like as the minutes go by, the little group gets even tighter and tighter and tighter. That's pretty slick. I've always kind of appreciated that. Alright, this is a hot jam. I'll be back. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little more creative and figure out different ways. Hey, let's power loop the H. It's right here. We're right next to the H. Let's power loop the H. Yeah, interesting. I'm having to, it's just a whole different way. Yeah. It's a whole different way to fly. Trying to capture you guys, but also fly freestyle. Damn, you guys got right into that shit, huh? Okay. Okay. Again, don't follow magenta. I'm going the opposite direction because it's really cool looking. Here comes white. That was sick. That was really cool. Will he make it? Oh, I can't believe I made that. I was pretty sure I wasn't gonna make that. Oh, nice! I linked right up. Ah, oh, green didn't make it. Try not to do the power loops at full throttle. You can absolutely do these power loops at full throttle, but you're gonna go so fast, I'm not gonna be able to catch up. Try to do the power loops with, yeah, like in a more normal way, in a way that you would in real life, right? Like you wouldn't just sit full throttle on a battery for 10 seconds to do a power loop. I mean, it wouldn't let you; it would melt, but. Yeah, try not to do your power loops full throttle. I was hoping somebody would come into view. When I do that, oh boy. Alright, hold on. Let me try this. Oops, nope. I'm gonna give myself some more power. So that I can close the gap on you guys. That might be interesting. Doesn't make a big difference. Oh, you know what? It's because the propeller pitch is so low. Hold on. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're doing great. Propeller. Yeah, there. Oh, there's 4-inch props in here. That's funny. 50, 40, 50, 50, 51, 46. Oh, 5150. There we go. 5150. That's what I want. Oh, yeah, now I can go 80 miles an hour. Okay, wow, look at the difference. Holy hell, the difference. I can just... Okay, I should have done this a long... I thought about this a while ago, and I was like, I should probably do this. It just lets me catch up with you guys, like it's nothing. It's so cool to see you guys just appear out of nowhere. Oh, God! Oh, wow, I almost hit that rooftop, too. Ooh! Yeah, it looks really cool when I go the opposite direction from you guys. But what's cool is I can then just reverse it. Oh, that was sick! Right with teal. Oh! Okay, alright, I'm starting to figure this out. With the extra power, I can catch you guys really easily. White, where are you going? Everybody going in the opposite directions. Stop it. Go the same way. Go the same way. That was really cool looking, but go the same way anyway. Maybe not. Maybe don't go the same way. Oh man, the extra power really opens up some cool possibilities for me. All right, let me keep working at it. Here's full music again, so I can concentrate. That's pretty slick. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, try to get the power loops as tight as you guys can. I think we've covered. I think everybody's gotten a chance to fly. Ruby Tim says in the chat, I called him out. He was doing full throttle power loop. I was too. I was doing them full throttle. I was like, wait a second. If everybody's doing them full throttle, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, try to get them tight. Try to get them power loops tight. That'll make it easier for. Oh yeah. Okay. What a difference. Yeah, it makes it way easier for me to frame you guys when you're doing them nice and tight. That's what she said. I landed on that roof. I'm gonna get weird with it. Let me see what kind of weird shit I can get going in here. I'm gonna make you guys throw up. Ah! Damn it. Oh no! Not quite. Man, it's pretty cool to see you guys power looping the same thing like this. It's really slick. Oh, 3 coming out. Nice. We try to link up with that little group of 3. As tight as you guys can on these power loops. I know that the lack of horsepower makes it harder, but the lack of propeller power is what makes it easier for me to catch you guys. Oh no! Try to do these power loops tight to the point where you're boxing these things off. Where you're falling down the face, running straight under, climbing up the back face, and then skimming the top. Try to get 4 big distinct throttle blasts. That's the closest possible way to do them. It's hard, you're gonna crash a lot, but we restart. We restart right by the H, so it's quick to get back in there. Oh, here comes a little group. Here we go. Linking up with this group. Nice. Stay in this group. Whatever it takes, stay in this group. Oh, we lost 1. Still got 3. Still got 3. Stay in this group. Oh, yeah. Wow, it's hard. It's really difficult to stay in a group in here. But that's why we practice. Ruby Tim, try to slow down a little bit. Make them tighter and try to stall on the corners, and that'll slow you down. I think everybody should, try to do these as, try to do them a little bit slower. You're gonna crash so much doing them slower, though. It's really hard. Ooh, here's a little group. Will I make it? Nope. All right, I'm gonna get real flowy with this song. Here you guys go. I'll be back. That was real fun. That was real fun. Oh, shit. Oh, man. That's awesome. It is incredibly... My brain is just, like, melting from doing this every week. It's, I think that's about all I got to give. I think everybody got to fly. Let me turn my my settings back down. You guys can certainly hang out in here. We're at a little over 2.5 hours. So I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna fly that 2.5-inch rig. I think I might even go out and fly that rig that I just built. That was super fun though, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm gonna jump out of this room. It'll transfer over to somebody else, and you guys can do whatever the hell you want. Feel free to keep this room open forever. Man. It's yeah, it's incredible how much concentration that takes. And I'm also trying to like be creative to figure out these different ways to both frame you guys. That's what's weird about this for me, is that I'm trying to frame you guys but then still not hit shit. But then still like fly in an interesting way so that I can, so that I'm still like knife edging and doing wall rides, but then trying to frame you guys at the same time. And it's really fun, and I hope you guys dig it too. Thus far, the feedback has been yes, it's amazing. If it becomes less amazing, let me know, and maybe we'll go back to combat mode and whatever. Lots of fun stuff we can do on Sim Sundays. This has sort of been flavor of the week for the last month or so. That doesn't mean that we need to keep doing it. Last week, a bunch of you said like, "Hey, when are we going back to combat mode?" So maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we'll hop back into combat mode next week. I just don't want to drive this into the ground. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's do combat mode next week, and then we'll come back to lead follow the week after, and maybe we'll just keep doing that. Maybe we'll just keep doing every other. In the chat, Tiago says we need to have the same quad with the same setup. I forgot to cover that at the beginning of the session today, but yeah, everybody should be flying the Rooster frame with your propeller power turned all the way down to 60%, and the propellers that you want are the. We'll do it next time. I'll be sure to go over that. Ethic says, how much is... somebody got it. Looks like I'm relatively caught up on chat. Oh, track editor and then download the tracks with your name. There are 3. Okay, I need to do that as well. Remington says he called me out. I've been doing full throttle power loops for 90 seconds straight. Yeah, they're fun to do at full power. It just makes catching... I had a feeling that's what you were up to, Dan, because I was trying to catch you and you were doing them really big. I was like, how the hell am I just barely keeping up with him? DJ CJX says, you can lower your brightness in the lower right corner of the screen. It looks blown out on the stream. Okay, I'll do that next time, DJ. Thanks for the heads up. Alright, cool. Oh my god. This is how you can tell that I was having to really focus, is because I'm crashing. The adrenaline is dumping out and I'm crashing now. If you'd like more fun like this, I need everybody's help. I need everybody to do a little bit of something. Maybe that's just hanging out here on the stream and clicking some buttons. Maybe that's clicking my affiliate links to Get FPV, Banggood, ohmygod.com, FPV Cycle. There's a whole bunch of them over on CiottiFPV.com. Maybe that's directly supporting me by going over to Patreon and signing up for my Patreon page. That's the thing you can do that helps me the most. Or maybe you go get some cool stickers on my Etsy shop, or hire me on Fiverr, or get a t-shirt. Lots of cool stuff. But yeah, I do need everybody to just do a little something here and there, and I'll be able to continue doing this full time. This is my year, god damn it. So come along with me on this journey. It's going to be a good one, I promise. Thanks for hanging out. Here's the goat. Tomorrow night is a giveaway night. We are going to be doing 4 giveaways. 1 for the $5 a month tier, 1 for the $10 a month tier, 1 for the $20 a month tier. If you do the $30 a month tier, you will get entered into all 3 of those giveaways. I do these every other Monday. And then the 4th giveaway is Super Chat based. So if you can't join the Patreon for some reason, you can still get in on a giveaway. There goes iTunes asking me to sign in again. So yeah, that's how it works. Thanks for hanging out, you beautiful bastards. This has been your daily CiottiFPV stream. I'll see you tomorrow night. It's going to be 10 o'clock Eastern. And yeah, we'll do some giveaways, do some Q&A, have a good time together, and then I'll be back on Tuesday. Tuesday, I think what we're going to do is... I forget what we're doing on Tuesday, but we'll do something cool. Today's Monday? No, it's not. Good try, Random. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Let me give you a little bit of real life flying to close the stream on down here. Or let me ask my computer to do something seemingly simple and have it give me the middle finger. Either or. Hey, there it goes. Ooh, pipes. Here's some pipes flying. I'll probably never get to fly these cool pipes again. This was such a cool little setup. All right, enjoy. Computer, really? There we go. All right, here's some pipes flying. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Be good, ladies and germs. I'll see you tomorrow.